Welcome to more coverage with your favorite libertarian, your favorite SHOT Show coverage of SHOT Show 2024. I'm joined today at Primary Arms booth with Stephen Morgan. Stephen, thanks for having me.
How's it going? Appreciate it. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah. Stephen, if you could tell us what's new and exciting at the booth today.
Yeah, so we've got actually a lot of new products for our Discovery 24 series. All the new product releases with us moving forward are going to be Discovery. So anytime you see Discovery in Primary Arms Optics, you know it's all the newest, latest, and greatest stuff.
Cool, okay.
So kind of the big things that we teased at last week and then actually introduced on Friday, I believe it was, and this is the first kind of public appearance of all of it, is our new red dots, our new microprisms, and then of course the new Nova scopes as well. So one of the big buzzes we've had here at the show is our new MD21 series. So we're actually doing this in our GLX and our SLX line. The biggest difference between the two is our GLX has that solar failsafe on top, which it's a little bit different than other companies. Our solar failsafe isn't a backup to the battery. The battery is a backup to the solar. So the majority of the time that solar panel is going to run it. It's super efficient. So even like inside, we've got more than enough power to run the dot without a battery. Once you go into like extremely dark places, buildings with no lights on, caves, nighttime, anything like that, that's when the battery is going to take over. And it's a seamless transition. You won't know what's happening. It just does it automatically.
Okay.
We've got a new reticle version in this as well. So those of you that are familiar with our ACSS CQB from like the MD25s, it's the same pattern, but now you can select which elements are on and which elements are off. So if you just want the chevron, you can do that.
Multi-reticle option.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you can turn the BDC on and off. You can have everything on with a horseshoe, chevron, BDC, all of that. So it's really tailored to what you're doing in the moment, and you can adjust accordingly if situation changes.
What's the for that horseshoe, that semicircle? What's the MOA for that?
I believe it's 37 MOA for the outer circle.
Could potentially be a good shotgun.
Yeah, it's great for it. Actually fits perfect for double at I believe it's 25 yards.
Okay. Specific loads or just kind of in general?
Cylinder bore. We've tested it with 18-inch barrels, 21-inch barrels out of a couple of different guns. Some of the like Remington pump guns, 870s, Benelli M4s, things like that.
And I'm curious to see Federal Flight Control how that does, because that usually is a little bit tighter.
Yeah, it's probably going to tighten it up.
That'd be something good to test. Okay, cool.
But yeah, for more information on like the actual dimensions, the drop dimensions and all that stuff, all that information's on the website with the release, so they can check it out.
And then I see this mount here. How high is this one here?
So this one here is one of our new SLX mounts. It's our 2.26 inch high riser. We actually have a bunch of new mounts out in the SLX line this year. We do 4 different cantilevers, as well as a bunch of cantilever accessories. So we have 12 o'clock mounts for the cantilevers. We have a new rock mount, which is our reflex offset keeper. Replaces the keeper on the cantilever mount and gives you a reflex mounting position in kind of that 1 o'clock area. Bunch of accessories available for the new cantilevers, as well as our new SLX riser. For
this optic, does it come in a kind of like a kit? Does it come with one base, or is it multiple bases, or do you buy bases like the?
So it comes mounted from us at a absolute co-witness height, and then there's shims in the box to bring it up to a lower 1/3. And if you want to go taller than that, you can, because it's a T1, T2 footprint, it's compatible with everybody makes mounts out there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But specifically our new SLX 226, because that's also a T1, T2 footprint, it'll run with it.
Nice. I'm glad you guys are sticking with industry standard stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's much easier, and like it opens a lot of stuff up to the aftermarket. We know a lot of guys like to run all the like super tall stuff. There's so much out there available. We might as well. Or
they might just already have other brands and want to check this out because of the reticle options.
Yeah, it's kind of like iPhone chargers. Like everybody has hundreds of them laying around. All gun guys have at least a couple extra T1, T2 mounts laying around the gun room.
Yeah, same. All right, awesome.
Yeah, the SLX is very, very similar to this, except it doesn't have that solar panel on top, and we move the buttons over to the top just for a little bit easier kind of ambidextrous use. But
yeah, so you have buttons on this side. This side is just for the battery, right?
Yep,
and then you
CR
have
2032.
Kind of protected a little bit around here with shrouds, and I'm sure these are probably pretty hard to click accidentally.
Yeah, you're not going to accidentally turn them. We went with a capless turret design on there because really The way these are designed, they're actually sitting subsurface, so you're not going to snag these things and spin off a zero. They're pretty solid, really positive clicks as well, so there's no accidental adjustment.
And this it almost looks like a rubberized design, but it's actually, that's metal, right?
Yep, that's actually all aluminum. So the way that we build these, we can actually, because the manufacturing process we're using is a little bit different, we can remove all the material that we don't need to save weight, but keep material in key spaces to maintain strength.
Okay.
So you look at like an egg, right? An egg, if you try to crush it end to end, because of that spherical shape to it, it supports itself and makes it very, very strong. Same concept behind this. There's no hard edges on it to crack and give way, so it just makes the overall design much stronger.
Or to snag.
Yep, exactly. You're not going to cut stuff, snag on stuff.
And it looks like this is hollow all the way through the mount. So if you're running a higher mount like this, you can still use your irons?
Yeah. So
that's
it's
awesome.
Being that 2.26, you can actually co-witness through the mount itself, so you don't have to worry about where your irons are lining up within the dot. You can see through the mount, and since it's open,
that's nice.
You know, it's not just electrical failures that make dots die. It can be obstructions too, like mud or snow. If there's nothing there, there's nothing to obstruct. So if you do have a lens full of mud and you can't see through it, you can drop down your iron, see through that open void in the middle, and still engage.
Yeah, I go back and forth between the flip-ups, and I'm like, well, do I just have fixed? But usually you can't do fixed unless you're doing a lower 1/3, and it's still in the window, and this is a great option, I think. Awesome. What else you got?
Cool. Something that's been really, really popular at the show, so everybody knows us for our microprisms, our SLX series where we do a 1X, a 3X, and a 5X. It's been hugely popular, one of our best-selling products, but people wanted something that was a little bit brighter as far as the illumination goes, maybe a step up in glass. So this year we came out with our GLX 1X microprism. So even though the body's a little bit larger than the SLX, the overall footprint is actually smaller because we got rid of the rheostat on the side that you previously used to control brightness. We replaced it with digital control, so we're using push buttons now. With the push buttons, they're very, very positive, so you know when they're being pushed, you can feel the click. They're also really easy to use with gloves on, nice big tactile surfaces. But by doing that, we reduce that overall footprint, we remove snag hazards, and it's just one more thing that we can pull off to maintain that kind of svelte platform, keep the optic inside of the footprint of the firearm itself. We moved the battery compartment to the top to do the same thing, so we can maintain that narrow profile. And the glass that's in this thing is absolutely incredible. The illumination's really bright in it, the glass is super clear, and we've actually been able to accomplish basically an unlimited eye relief. So one of the things we're doing here at the show to demo it, we'll actually put it up on one of the racks, and then we'll have people stand about 20, 30 feet back by the door. You can still see through that optic, still see the reticle, and still engage through it. It's absolutely insane. So really, any platform that you're mounting it on, whether it's forward mounted on like an Ultimac rail, you're putting it on a, I don't know, Springfield SOCOM, whatever it is, it doesn't matter how close or how far away it is, you're always at perfect eye relief.
And if I'm correct, this is like a diopter, so you can adjust the focus to specifically you, which is cool.
So because it's that prism design, it's basically a fixed power scope. You do have to adjust that diopter, but once it's adjusted and set, that's it. You never move it again.
And it looks like the, and what do you, is it the horseshoe? Is that what it's called?
The horseshoe, yeah.
Yeah, so the horseshoe, the chevron's illuminated, and then the BDC is not illuminated. Is when I unilluminate this, which is not a word.
Deluminate?
Yeah, deilluminate, turn the light off.
Turn the lights
off. Is that all etched as well?
Everything is etched.
Okay, awesome.
So you don't have to worry about backup iron sights.
Yeah,
if there is an electrical failure or anything like that, you still have that etched reticle to look at, just like a regular rifle scope. The people that have astigmatisms or any kind of eye problems where they have a hard time seeing dots, the microprisms are a perfect option. It is always sharp, always clear. And then, like you said, if there's a power failure or anything like that, you still have that etched reticle to engage with.
So this pairs really well with the magnifier then, I would assume?
It does. Okay. Works really well with our 3X micro magnifier. They can be a little fiddly to adjust because you're adjusting two different diopters, but once that's set, it's super clear, it works really well, and you don't have to worry about it.
And what's the footprint on this?
That is the mini prism footprint, so think like ACOG Mini. There's a bunch of third-party manufacturers out there that do mounts for them, but like its SLX cousin, it does come with 8 different mounting options in the box.
That's awesome.
Different heights, different cantilevers. You can basically configure it for whatever you got.
Very cool. All right. It looks like we got some bigger optics down here.
We do. We've got a couple of larger ones. So we'll start with the bigger one first. This is our SLX 1-10. So we came out with the SLX 1-10 last year. It was really popular, super long magnification range, being able to cut down to 1 for fast and close, then all the way up to 10 to engage at pretty good distances. One of the critiques that we got from our customer base was they wanted it to be brighter. So with etch and fill illumination, you can get it to, we call it either daylight visible, sometimes daylight bright, depending on the reticle itself. It means you can either see that it's a color, which is daylight visible, or with daylight bright, you can see that it's illuminated and get a little bit more contrast through it. But they wanted brighter. So we came out with our Nova reticle in the SLX 1-6 last year. This year we put it in the SLX 1-10. So it's a true red dot bright reticle. It runs just as bright as anybody's red dot out there. Contrasts against any backdrop. If you can find a situation that drowns the dot out in this thing, then you have an issue. You're probably shooting on the surface of the sun or something like that.
Yeah.
It's extremely bright, extremely.
With that brightness, what's battery life look like?
We've still got really good battery life. So with the Nova reticle, it's a fiber wire technology. So we're not reflecting light off of the surface. We're actually piping it through a fiber optic.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's very, very efficient. It's got pretty much the same battery life as the standard etch and fill versions of the 1-10 and 1-6s, which we're looking right at about 1,000 hours at a medium power for a constant on time. So if you're running any of our like auto light battery caps, which is compatible with this, where it shuts the optic down after 2 minutes of inactivity, then it really extends the battery life out to forever.
If you get a certain like premium tier of your optics, is that included, or is it always a sold separately item?
GLX and up, it's baked into the optic.
Okay.
Now when it comes to our microprisms and our red dots, it's in all those. So SLX, GLX, whatever it is, we've got auto live in all of those.
That's awesome.
But when it comes to our variable power, SLX does not have auto live built in, but we have our new SLX, or it's not an SLX series, but our auto live battery cap, and that adds that auto live functionality to really any of the scopes that it fits on. But yeah, GLX and above, it's already built in.
How does, because I have the 2.5 to 10.
Yep.
How does it compare to that as far as, because I'm looking at this and the front of this is not as big.
Right, it's much narrower.
Is it going to give, is it like similar as far as shadow around when you're zoomed all the way out? Or
it is. So because we have a 34 millimeter tube on this, and that 2.5 to 10 is a 30 millimeter tube, we can kind of make up for some of that. It is. Yeah. It's definitely a thick boy for sure. It's a 28 millimeter objective, where yours is a 44 millimeter objective, but that 34 millimeter tube actually allows us to kind of keep the field of view open. So the 2.5 to 10 has a little bit wider field of view throughout the magnification range, but it's not that much more than the SLX 1-10 is. So you're not really sacrificing all too much by going to a 1-10 platform. You are gaining a lot by going down to a true 1X, be able to do that quick close engagement. Yeah,
so you basically have red dot and you have
exactly.
Red dot
else, and a 10X optic.
Up to 10X.
And the new Nova reticle, so it's a mill-based reticle, and it's calibrated for maximum power, and that's on all of the optics that we do the Nova in. With all of our second focal plane optics, they are all calibrated to whatever the maximum power of that optic is, be it 6, 8, 10, some of our other second focal plane stuff. So awesome. You can still mill, you can still calculate BDCs, calculate wind holds, move holds, things like that.
And I see it. Now, do you guys include this with it? Is this just part of it, or is this an add-on?
That is not included. Piece? It is a add-on accessory. It's called our UML, or Universal Magnification Lever. It's pretty slick. So everything that we make moving forward that's variable power will be compatible with that. It comes with a little fixed half-inch, kind of fixed 90-degree throw lever, but the UML attaches with 2 screws. It's under $50 at retail, and it'll go on pretty much anything that has that little keystone footprint on it.
Yeah, I definitely prefer this over the clamp-on stuff.
It's especially for like the 3-gunners and stuff out there, when they're throwing that gun into a barrel.
This is quick.
Tends to break. That can just fold away, and it's still there when you need it.
That's really nice. And then are these mounts? Yeah, it looks SLX mount. So you guys also make the mounts as well?
Yep. So that's the SLX cantilever I was talking about a little bit ago. This is the one that has all the accessories available for it. And one of the cool things is a little Easter egg about all the SLX cantilever mount accessories. They also work on our zero cant PLX mounts. So if you have a 30 millimeter zero cant PLX with a PLX compact, and you want that 1 o'clock offset for a reflex sight, the SLX mount will actually mount to that PLX, so you can use it with both.
Okay. Yeah, that's clean.
It is.
That's really nice.
And retail on that thing is sub $500. So for under $500, having that capability to go from a true 1X up to a true 10X, it's huge.
That's really nice. And I could see this being sought after for someone who wants something that's very small, but still gives you 10X, because compared to the one I have, this is like, it's thick, but it's somehow small at the same time.
Yeah, it still sits inside of that turret footprint. So you're not, even though the body itself is a little bit wider, you're not kind of widening the overall footprint of the scope.
That's awesome. All right, I see one more thing on the table.
Yep. This is last
the grand
but definitely
finale?
not least. So we released our PLX Compact 2 years ago. It was, at the time, it was the lightest and one of the shortest 1 to 8 LPVOs on the market. It was first focal plane, and we offered in a couple of different reticles. We did both BDC based as well as mill based. And then last year we came out with the peanut butter pickle variant, or the FDE variant, so available in 2 colors. Again, the customer feedback we had, everybody loved the glass, loved the field of view, loved the heads-up display at 1X, the diopter, the bezel seems to just kind of disappear. They love the turrets, they love the mag ring, but they wanted it brighter. So we re-engineered the PLX Compact, made it a second focal plane optic, and we put, again, our ACSS Nova reticle in it. So that super bright fiber wire illumination, it's just a single center point for the illumination as well. So when you kick it down to 1 power, turn the illumination on, you can run it just like a dot. It's just as fast as any of the other 1X optics out there, be it a traditional dot, a reflex, or a microprism. But you have that added capability to go up to 8X and engage at distance, ID, mill targets, calculate BDC, do all that stuff.
Any plans for other reticle options in this in the future?
So we've already got the Raptor and the Griffin reticle series.
Awesome. I was going to ask about the
first
Griffin.
focal planes. Yep, those were the original ones that we came out with, and the first focal plane's still around. We're not getting rid of it.
Okay.
This is just an addition to the line instead of a replacement of. So yep, if you're a first focal plane guy and you want that full grid, chevron, and horseshoe, we've got that. BDCs, we've got that in the Raptors for both 556 and 762. For the mill-based, you want one of the Griffin reticles, and the Griffins are, that kind of Christmas tree style mill grid. It's also, again, has the chevron, our ACSS auto ranging, as well as that horseshoe. So even at 1X, you're still able to engage quickly.
That's awesome. And the turrets?
Right, as they come from us, they're capped. So you've got the windage and elevation caps installed.
Okay, so
in the blocks comes a dialable elevation turret. So you can swap it out. It comes with it. You don't have to buy it after the fact. So if you want to be able to dial, it's really easy. You remove the cap, you loosen 3 screws, pull that off, throw the new one on, and you're good to go. And the new one actually covers the threads as well. So it protects that in the event that you bang it up against something. If you want to go back to running a cap system, it won't bind those threads up. Yeah,
so you still have the option of clicks or just using the reticle.
Yep, exactly. You can either dial or you can hold.
Nice.
So everything that we're releasing here at SHOT Show, everything in the Discovery 24 series, is actually going to be available Q2 of this year, so a couple of months. So start seeing them on the shelves at your local PA Optics dealer, and you'll be able to find them online. So.
Do we know pricing already for these, or no?
Yep, all the pricing's already out there. So like I said, we're under $500 on the 1 to 10.
Okay.
Our PLX Compact Nova is going to be the same price as its first focal plane brother. We're right at that $1,500 price point. The GLX 1X microprisms, MSRP is sub $350 on that one.
Wow.
And then the SLX and GLX MD21s, we're looking right around the $270 and below price point.
Okay, all right. Now, the most important question, which all my viewers want to know the answer to, if you could only have one AR-15 out of your personal collection, what would it be and why?
I would choose my 10.5 MCX in 5.56.
10.5, 5.56.
It's I love 5.56. I shoot a heavy bullet in 5.56. I think anything over 11.5 inches as far as barrel length is too long for most ARs. I'm just a short gun kind of guy. As you can see in the video, I'm not that tall anyway. So
I'm on stilts, guys.
He's got a stool sitting over here. So yeah, I like short, fast guns, and that thing, the MCX gas system suppressed, is just clean with that kind of piston system that they're running. I like the fact that you can change the stocks out They fold, the firearm still operates, but it still has the real familiar kind of AR controls to it.
And what kind of can are you running on that?
Right now I'm running a Surefire SOCOM 5.56.
Okay. And what kind of optic?
Of course, a primary arms optic. For about the last year, I've actually been running a prototype MD21, one of the GLXs.
Well, bring it out. Let's show it off.
Yeah, just throw a mag in real quick. We can pop a couple rounds in the back. Yeah.
Desk pop.
Yep, exactly. If you guys follow our social, I'm sure you've seen it. It's my gray MCX. We're sitting that MD21. When we first got the prototypes, I didn't have any mounts available, so it's sitting on a GBRS Hydra mount right now.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a fantastic combo, super fast, and very, very versatile.
Awesome. Well, speaking of socials, you guys have an Instagram account, of course, right?
We do, yep.
Well, what's that? And then other socials, anywhere they can find you guys and check out the new optics as well?
Yeah, so hit us up on socials, pretty much all of them. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, or whatever it is now, YouTube. We're everywhere, Primary Arms Optics. If you follow us already, you've probably seen my face before. If you are following us, you're going to be seeing a lot more of me. Or you can hit us up on our website, which is primaryarmsoptics.com. Feel free to reach out to us through social. Most of the time, I'm the one answering the comments. If not, it's somebody from my team. But yeah, we love hearing back from pretty much everybody out there. We like suggestions, we like questions, we like to help people out. So reach out. There's a real person will get back to you generally pretty quick.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate it.
Very
Thank you.
exciting stuff.
Thank you.
If you guys have any questions for Steven, leave them in the comment section below and I'll bug them.
For sure.
Also, thanks for watching and stay tuned for more SHOT Show coverage 2024 with your favorite libertarian and friends.
Thanks.
What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah.